All right, y'all, welcome back. So we are here in the driveway, and today we are going to add a receiver hitch on the van. At least, fingers crossed, this all goes well. So I picked up this Kurt receiver hitch, made for this van. I got it from E-Trailer, not sponsored or anything. And then I also picked up this wiring kit. So this is like a plug and play to a 4-pin that should just plug right into my taillight harness on there. And this should just bolt right up. I've got to remove this bracket, which kind of goes to the back on both sides. Why don't we crawl under there and look? Let me just heave myself under here, but adjust camera. So this entire bracket will come out, and we'll reuse these bolts. We'll reuse that bolt, and then I'm not going to be able to jack this thing up or anything in my driveway, or at least I'm not going to do that to do this. But then there's this hole right here, which we have to fish a bolt through and bolt to that. And I think we might need to enlarge that hole a little bit. But other than that, it should just bolt right on. And thankfully everything isn't super crusty under here. It's hard to hold the camera at this angle I'm shaking. It's not super crusty, so this should go relatively easy. And then we can haul junk and/or a trailer or a boat, or I can put a kayak on a trailer and take it there with me, or I can get a hitch rack and do stuff like that. But yeah, we got to get this slapped on there and see what happens. Stay tuned, y'all. Not really sure what I need. I assume it's standard. Might be big enough. You're gonna hear me huffing and puffing, that's for sure. Alright. So these are like captured on one side. So I don't know. I'm at the wrong side to see this, but these might not be deep enough either. We'll see. Definitely in there at a funny angle to get to, that's for sure. It's kind of meant, I think, to remove these back ones and then like pull the whole bumper off to get this one off, but I guess we'll try. I don't know if this is going to work. Might have to just get a wrench. Already got something crusty in my eye. Tight. Oh, hey. Time. Got the right one. Try not to let these other, they can't lose these nuts and bolts. And there's supposed to be a welded nut on the other side of this one, so hope and pray. Guess I do have an impact, but shabby. That came out very easily. So you got to save these. You don't reuse them. I'm gonna knock the other side out quick. All right, we've got both brackets removed, and we've got our leftover hardware here on both sides. I did go ahead and pop this guy open, and I checked to make sure these bolts fit through those existing holes, and they do, so I don't need to do any drilling. We are gonna have to fish these through using that wire. I'll show you guys that here in a second. But we're gonna start off, we're gonna use this dirty old jack. We're gonna get this stuck up under there, and if I can get these, at least one bolt in here on each side, which should be pretty easy to do, the rest will go smooth. Mostly I just don't want to like drop this thing, you know. Close enough. It's just gonna roll. Might not even fit. Didn't work like I wanted it to. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm concerned about the exhaust clearance. Oh, I gotta get over the exhaust there. Okay. Alright, so obstacle number one is I have to get this side to go over the exhaust over here. So this might take some heaving and hoeing on my part. Did not think about that, you know. I gotta twist it all the way around. Oh, I don't know if I can. To get this bumper bracket under there. I think I'm gonna try to pull the exhaust hanger off quick. Yeah, I didn't think about that. Some of this stuff you don't think about until you look at it, you know. But if I pull this hanger off, I should be able to let the exhaust hang down, possibly. All right, I got this exhaust hanger removed. That took a little bit of effort. I don't have a ton of room in here, but I should be able to get this down and out of the way enough. Install sheet says 45 minutes. I think they were lying. It is kind of in there. Let's get this. Maybe. Hopefully this thing is low enough. Probably blocking the entire thing. I don't want to drop this on myself. Alright, these holes are not quite lined up, but let's see if we can get under there and get something done. at least get a couple of these things started here. All right. Well, it's not looking too bad. Let's see. Well, those are in. Started anyways. All right. Let's get the bolts on the other side started. Probably tighten those down. Not trying to tighten it up super tight because there is some adjustability in there, but get her snugged up to the body anyways. We can move it if we need to. All right, so I think maybe there were some washers in here I was supposed to use on that, but I don't know. Find out. So they give you these bolts for the front and these things. So this slides, oop, don't fly away. So this goes in like so, and then you have to get that inside of the frame rail. And in order to do that, they give you this piece, and in the instructions they kind of show you which hole it needs, you can fish it through, but there's a few under there, as long as it's big enough, you know. So you take this piece, which is probably really hard for you guys to see. Maybe you can see that. And it's made to thread onto the end of your screw. So you go through a hole in the frame rail, wiggle this to where your bolt needs to come out of, and then you pull this through. This will lock inside the frame, and this will lock in here, so it can't spin in there. At least that's the plan, right? And then you tighten her down with one of these old guys and see if I can make this work. This side, the driver's side, is going to be the hardest one because my gas inlet's right there, and it kind of comes down and goes along the frame right up under there. Try to give you guys an angle of my dangle here on what I'm really trying to do. Let me show you the one side. Okay, so let me just take this off here. So there's a front hole right there that I need to get that. Need a bolt in there. This is kind of off center. That just pulls over like so. So you can see the hole there, and you can see the gas line coming down, and there's a big hole in the frame right up there and on this side. So I don't have far to go, but I got to wiggle that whole thing through there and get it to come out of that hole. Got it. You see that? All right. Now just to push all this junk through that hole. It might be easier as you're doing this, whether it's this or any other hitch, because I had to do the same thing at one point on the truck. I had a front mounted hitch. It's actually sitting on the trailer over there. But you don't push this through separately. It'll all get itself lined up in there, and that way it might work easier for you. We'll try it all together first, but just don't pull so hard that you pull everything out. Like don't pull it off the nut in there. I'm gonna have to go through separately on here. You just see that hole there. There we go. Might have to do some wiggling to get that thing to sit in there flat, but there we go. We got one in there. I'm just unscrew this piece off of it. And don't be dumb and push that bolt up through there, because you're never going to get her out. You gotta be really careful with these at this point. Alright, you get your wire off, don't lose it. Alright, found it. So just be careful as you thread her on there. Even though you guys probably can't see me. In tight. Alright y'all, I'm gonna do the other side quick and I'll get back to you. Alright. Grab a torque wrench. You're not really supposed to use torque wrench with extensions, but it's the only thing I've got. Kinda hard to do this. Can't even see what I'm looking for. Can even get it on there now. I'm glad I checked. Man. And I'm gonna get the rest of these done. Alright, y'all. Hitch is on. It is solid. Oof. We need to go ahead and figure out how to do this now. I know all the lights are behind me is not the greatest for this, but stuck with what you got sometimes. Should just be plug and play. Let's keep our fingers crossed. I don't know exactly how I'm going to mount this 4-pin to the van. I'll probably make some little bracket that comes off of the hitch itself, but I'll give you plenty of it. Alright, so one's one side, one's the other side. And yeah, it just plugs in, although you do have a ground wire. It looks like you have to bolt in, so I think I have to pull my rear taillights out, which I think should be able to do all from the outside because it's got a couple of screws. Hopefully that gets me, I don't know if that's going to get me to the back to the bucket. If I have to go in through the inside, that's going to suck because I'm going to have to figure out how to remove the interior panels. I held on to that. There's a gasket on it though. Alright, it took some gentle persuasion, but it was just kind of sealed on, as you can see. A little crusty under there, but there we go, we've got it out. I had to figure out which wire I need and how I'm going to get these out the bottom. I don't know if either of these are color coded or what side we need, but well, I want to get the other side taken off and see what color those wires are, and then I'll probably plug stuff in before I route the wiring just to see if it all works. I've got the trailer right here, so I can plug into that and check the lights, and I'll let you guys know how this goes. All right, I've got the harness plugged in on both sides. Over here, there was a little spot where like this plastic clip plugged in. I used that and bolted the ground strap on there. We'll see if that works for now. I'm gonna pull this trailer forward a little bit so we can plug it in. And get runned over. Run it into my van. Fingers crossed that it works and we don't blow all our... Alright, we're plugged in. Fingers crossed this works and we don't blow all of our lighting or something. Left signal. It's working. It's not working. Oh, we've got it reversed. Alright, let me swap these wires back and forth. Glad I did this. Alright, round two. Got everything switched. Hopefully the ground is good enough. I don't have the ground super tight right now, but left side. It's flashing, if you guys can see that. And we're good there. Alright, let's figure out a way to push the brake pedal down. Alright, everything works. I need to figure out how to route this wiring quick and tuck this little connector up and we'll go from there. Well, alright y'all, I guess welcome back. It's the next day and so I had some time last night to try to think about this, and I talked to the homie Greg, and I also posted on a couple of the local, I guess not local, I posted on a couple of the Facebook van pages, and let's see if we can do this, and came up with a solution. So I have a couple of options. I could either de-pin this and pull these connections off so that I could try to attempt to snake them through that tiny little hole, which that hole is like that big and there's already a wire running through it, so it's going to be difficult no matter what I do. And then the difficulty with that is the wall panels on this side, they come down and meet, and there is also just a tiny little hole where that wire runs down and goes out. I think it's connected into this side of the brake light stuff for the license plate light. And so my next option is drilling another hole in the floor, which I really don't want to do at this point. Maybe in the future, if and when we redo this entire wall, or if and when we redo this entire interior, we'll take all of this stuff down. But for now, I'll be completely honest, like I don't know how a lot of this stuff removes out of here. It's kind of put in funny. Anyways, so the next option, which was suggested by two people on the van groups, and the homie Greg actually does it with his wife's car, is that I wire this all inside, and then I just wrap this up and kind of set it over here in the corner, and when I need to tow a trailer, I just hang it out the back door, and the seals, there's enough of a seal that goes around here that you're not going to crush the wire. So a couple of different guys on the van pages do that, and Greg does it with his wife's car. So I don't think I'm going to be towing like incredibly often with this, so I think for the time being that is probably going to be the best, easiest and quickest option. And then I also don't have to worry about figuring out a way to mount this down there, and I don't have to worry about it in the weather 90% of the time. So I'm gonna get all these taillights popped back off. I'm gonna pull this panel off, which it's just metal under there, but I'll be able to run the wire, and then you can actually pull the carpet up, so it might get ran under the little carpet area back there, so that I can run the wire from one side to the other, which is still gonna be a pain, because I'm gonna have to figure out how to like fish it through here without breaking anything, which sucks. And the same thing on the other side. And then the wire will just the wire will just kind of like, it'll come out probably right there, and I'll just kind of coil it up and set it over there. So I'm gonna get after it. All right, so I've got that trim panel off, so you can see it's just metal under there, and that kind of just goes straight to the outside. Kind of surprising that they just drilled through there, but you can see where it kind of holds the carpet down there. You can get underneath the carpet, and you can see there's padding, and then the base of the van floor. So like I can run the wires in here. It's just gonna be getting through there. Maybe I can do it like that, because you get over here and like you try to pop this off, you can hear the wood just like cracking under there, but we'll figure it out. Can't go through here, sadly. So yeah, I have to get under here somehow. Okay, I pulled the speaker out on, this is the driver's side, and I was able to just shove the wire under here between the carpet and the wood, and then I'll be able to tuck it under here, but I need to see if I can get my hand in there. On the outside. Try to reach down in here. You guys see the wire? I can't. There we go. All right, I'm gonna get this plugged in. All right, it's all plugged in. It's kind of hard for me to film this, but I'm gonna tuck this wire under here. I'm gonna tuck it all along underneath of here, and then we'll do the same thing on the other side. All right, I've got it ran. I got everything tucked under there, kind of zip tied that up, and I plugged the trailer in. I just went through and checked all the lights. Everything is functioning as it should. So I need to go ahead and toss those speakers back in, pop the speaker grills back on, which they're just slip-ons. Didn't realize that, but yeah, at least I know I could easily change those speakers out. So we're gonna do that. We'll get this unplugged. I need to get some wire loom like this probably, just to make it look a little nicer, and it'll just coil up and set right there. So I'm gonna do that. I'll get this trim panel put back in and see how it looks when we're done. All right, I didn't grab a pin, but that's where that will sit. Problem that immediately arises is the jack on the trailer here. So everything is put together. Everything is, there's my dangle right there. Taillights are back in, both sides, etc. This will just, and it can sit right there like that. Not a big deal. Once I wrap that with some wire loom, it'll look a lot nicer. And then when you need it, we'll just roll it out. I'm actually going to close this door first. We're going to run it out right there. I think that's the spot. There we go. And you've got your wire hanging out, and that is closed. Yeah, there you go. So You probably don't need it out quite that far, but it will work. And there's plenty of rubber underneath here. You don't really have to worry about it. It could potentially even come out over here on this side, but this side will be the best, and there we go. So let's go ahead and wrap that back up over there. But next problem, if I hook this trailer up, which I'm not going to do right now since I don't have a pin on there, you can see that this jack is going to probably be like right here, and it's going to be right level with that. So it's either going to hit that, so I either need to get a hitch extension, which I don't particularly want to do, or I'm going to have to move this back somehow. It's just bolted in, or just get one of the flippy ones for the side. And the boat's honestly the same way. Its jack does not move. I have that same issue over here with the truck. If you put a hitch in there, the tire will hit that. So we're probably going to end up moving that. But we have a hitch, so we can haul stuff, and then I can use a basket. I could carry a pit bike on the back of there or whatever. But I do need to use the trailer, and it's going to be a couple more weeks before I end up fixing the truck. Yes, it's coming back. I know some of you guys are incredibly impatient and hate change. But yeah, we can haul stuff with the van now, and I'm sure somebody's going to say, oh, you can't haul anything with that. It's a G20. It's a 3/4 ton. It's rated to tow just about as much as my truck is. It ain't going to do it very fast, but it'll haul anything that I need it to. So anyways, y'all, if you want to see me hauling a trailer, I guess, probably the next video. Stay tuned for the next adventure. I'll see you in a bit.